Good to start with the kettle on, isn't it? Nice and loud. It's the problem with starting this live stream at dinner time, isn't it? Oh well. Right, the weekly email of the link to this. Oh my god, what? Just to make sure it's working as expected. Last week I didn't check it properly. And I was not recording the screen, and you guys just had to watch me talking the whole time. That was, oh dear, let's not go there. Right, so just going to double check it's working, sound, everything. Yeah, it seems good, it seems good. Right, now what I'll do is post that in all the chats. Okay. Alright, there we go. I think I've done that in the social media chat. I'll just put it in my main chat. Woohoo! Join me, join me, join me, join me. In our virtualized way of socializing in 2025. That's what this is. What else? There we go. Found all the chats. There goes the extractor fan. There goes the extractor fan. Not wait until 10 past. Is the extractor fan on the low setting or the high setting?
Yes. Medium. Fine. What do you want to have for part? Noodles?
I'm on live, by the way, if you don't want to be on the
Oh.
on the camera. What? Wait, we said potatoes, didn't we? Huh? I think if you want double carb, we can double carb it.
Okay, let's.
We've got, to be fair, there's only 4 potatoes, so like it's not massive. So you can have like can do like a pack of those ones from Sainsbury's noodles if you like, but yeah, up to you. Right. Oh, do you know I actually covered your face really well just then. It's playing it back to me. I don't know how I did it. That was close. Oh, let's start here before we get people on. There's a note on this one again. Yeah, 75, I think so. Alright, just close that one down for now. Close that one down for now. Live stream number 10. Paul said he had his dinner first. And rules of essays in Norwich that could assist me with average occupancy and average nightly rates, please. No clue, mate. Right, okay, I don't do essays in Norwich. Okay, so this is my 10th live stream. Made it to 10. I think it's like a podcast stat, but it's like 1% of podcasts make it to episode 10, and then from there on, the only way is up. Potentially. Let's hope so. Alright. So yeah, we made it to number 10. Alright. If you're new here, welcome. Alright. What I do in these live streams, spend the first like 5-10 minutes reviewing the week, the goals I set last week. Usually realising that I'm not quite there, or the week's gone off in a different tangent or whatever, but at least I keep working on it. Review the week, then move on to analysing property deals through Property Engine. And well, let's make that the first topic of this week. Actually, there was a Property Engine live event on, was it Wednesday? Or was it? I think it was Wednesday. Anyway, Jamie Property Engine did a Zoom with the Dealers Club, which is really great. Learned a couple of new features, which I'll try and get round to today if I can. I wasn't quite sure about some of them, because when you show them on the live, sometimes you need a second go at it to doing it yourself to understand them properly. So the features he mentioned were, the most intriguing one to me was to work backwards from Property Engine to get investors. So to see properties in the local area that have been bought recently, something, again, it's foggy in my memory and actually hasn't got around to reading my message. Yeah. Just message him now. Just nudge him. So something about you find the properties that have kind of recently been developed or whatever, and then that's a way of working backwards, finding the company that did it, and then getting your investors for deal sourcing. That was a great feature, and a couple of other bits and bobs. So yeah, maybe I can show you them today. Probably next week though, because I haven't tested them yet, and Jamie hasn't got back to me. I just asked him, like, can you remind me of exactly how to do that bit? Anyway, what else happened this week? So let's have a look at last week's goal. It was in the old notepad. Finished this one. No, I've done so much deal sourcing. We wanted to analyse. Yeah, I didn't do that. Analyse NW10 8AT. What was that one? Let's remind myself. Don't want to just ignore the fact that I haven't done it. I want to remind myself of my failings and then maybe do it this week. NW10 8AT. I wanted to analyse that one. This one. Oh yeah, because we said that might be one to do. Okay, yes, can pass that on to this week's goal. So let's write that down now. That's fine. I'll explain to you why. I've still had a busy week. So I'll explain to you perhaps why certain things were taken a sideline, rightly or wrongly. I'll explain why. Okay, next one. Finish email searches and keep on top of the email searches. Again, yeah, haven't really been prospecting too much for new properties on email. That's something we'll do today if we've got time. So, yeah. Great. You might not know what I'm talking about email searches. I plan to do an Instagram on it. A quick video, short, just like explaining what I mean. Basically, I don't search for properties anymore. They just come into me through notifications. I don't search for them anymore. Really, really great. Property Engine is on that type of thing. I encourage you to try it. 14 days if you do this sort of thing. Finish making lease option analyzer. I did do that, right? That was obviously high on my priority. I did make lease option analyzer. We're gonna do that today. All right. So lease options. Yeah. So when you agree to control the property and buy it later, like people lease cars, right? And they pay an option fee on a car to use the car, and then you can either exchange for a new one. And obviously you pay a deposit and then pay a monthly thing on the car. You can exchange for a new one, or you can buy the car if you want to own that car for 3 years. And think of that for houses, right? So we've got an analyzer for that. So yeah, I was ChatGPT on how to break down a build. Yeah, I did try and work on that. Just sort of put in the link, for example, this one into ChatGPT. Let's do it now. Let's see your luck, because let's use Rightmove. Put it into ChatGPT. I think I wanted to save that search. This one is that one's fine. I have it in an email. That's cool. But I'll save it. Yeah. Okay. Let's new chat on this one. So to go like this and then say, how much roughly would the refurbishment cost? Would you break it down? Itemize the works. Surely that's how you spell itemize. And it didn't really work. So normally it just says I can't open the link. Oh, this one says I managed to open the property listing show. The guide price about $850, $900, is it? I'm pretty sure it's $800. Okay. Because it's had some reductions. Oh gosh, what one is it? Yeah. Okay, so this actually works. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. What ChatGPT does is give vast ranges. But see, like, how helpful is it for ChatGPT to say, yeah, it'll be about 10 to 30k? I mean, 10 to 15k, that's one thing. So, yeah. It's like, I can use this to be like, if I'm really not sure, for example, how much the gas supply would be, or even if I'm not sure, which I'm often not, I've never done this type of work in my life, if I'm not sure what whether it needs plumbing, then it thinks it does, and it will be about 48,000. There's some uses here to learn how things are broken down. Because I was saying last week, well, actually knowing what needs to be done is quite difficult. So, do you know, I tried this a couple of times in the week, and it never seemed to open the link. So, it's refreshing that it's opened the link. But again, you can see it's like, well, how helpful is 5 to 10,000? But it's being honest. I mean, obviously, a bathroom could be 5 to 10,000. Depends what standard you need. And it's got the professional costs like the surveyors and building control. Building control, that's one I always forget. And then the prelims. And it gives a basic modernisation, standard mid-range refurb. So let's take that and let's say it's 150. So last week we were saying there might be a deal in this one. So if we take 150, and by the way, would we be then adding VAT onto that? Or is that a contingency? Alright, and based on 20% VAT, let's go 180, right? So I was going to look into whether this was interesting. I was going to analyse it. Well, let's do it now then, I guess. We have the comparable at 965. Well, if the works are going to cost 180, then no, that's not interesting, actually. It needs to come down to about 700, in all honesty. If it came down to 700, there might be something in it. So I'm going to name that overpriced. Still in the pipeline, but with an overpriced label, so I'm just going to let it sit there. not worry about it now. Same as this one, it's overpriced. I'm letting it sit there. And yeah, that has not come down since I labelled it overpriced. I'm just not interested with that one the same. That one the same. No, there's plenty that could be good, but they're overpriced and this and that. Alright, great. So right at the end of this week, I got the ChatGPT to help break down my build. I mean, it's not. I think it's crude. I think it is crude at best. Are there any better ways to do this? I'm sure there must be. Obviously, yeah, become a builder, know your trade or whatever. Start freaking actually doing it yourself, and then you get to understand. But apart from that, surely there's a better way to do it. What could be done, perhaps, is I get the items from here, and I go to a networking event or go into Facebook groups, and I go, right, how much do these bits cost? And maybe I trust human knowledge more than just this range and say, oh, I know for sure it's going to be more like 4, or I know for sure it's going to be more like 8. Maybe. Oh, this is a lot longer than just letting ChatGPT do the whole thing. But I think a more useful thing on this is not maybe the numbers, but is maybe the way it's broken things down. Because that's great to know. And the only number that's maybe useful is just plumbing somewhere in the middle here. Without major structural changes, full internal overhaul. Yeah, I think that's what it needs. And yeah, great. Okay. So, are there any more things to review this week? Is there anyone here? Yeah, maybe a couple of people. 4 views. They've got bored. Fair enough. Well, I can't see you in the chat. You can. No, let's not use come out. That's got negative associated. Well, not negative, but I'm not making a joke. Can you? You can say something. You don't have to come out. Not negative. It's not negative. You need to come out. You need to come out. Great. Okay. Any more things for the week? Yeah, there are a few more things. Alright. So we can analyse lease options, etc. Follow up with those agents. Yes, so that's not quite happened, but that's what we're going to do today. Use the lease option analyzer to analyse some deals, which I wasn't really able to follow up this week because I didn't have the analyzer ready. So I'll leave that blank. I think I'll fill in the rest of next week's goals after this week. So in that case, oh no, there's one more thing for last week. Well, the reason as well didn't do a great deal on other things is did a great deal on this one. You know what I was saying? What I was saying was, well, I need to just follow up with agents I haven't followed up with for a while. I hadn't followed up with this one for a while, and I decided to call, because this agent Causeway, when I called them, they kind of shut me down and went, no, the system sales thing won't work here. It's too complicated, whatever. So I called Joseph Scott and they were a lot more receptive to it. And actually, then I called back Causeway and it was a different person who picked up the phone and she was more receptive to it as well. But with Causeway, we've had a virtual viewing of this place. We might get it for, I'll put in a soft offer of $690 and we might get it around $700. If we got it at $700, our return on investment might be, obviously, the build quote might be revised on an in-person viewing, which you can look out for on the YouTube channel and social medias and everything if we do get an in-person viewing. But I won't try and reveal too much because that might jeopardise the deal, but I can just put a few bits and bobs on. Anyway, yeah, in fact, I don't want to jeopardise too much by showing too much of this at the moment, right? But because this could be good, so yeah, it could be good. 75% return on investment at the numbers we're looking at now. Obviously, that might get lower, higher, depending on what the builders find out when they view in person. But based on the video tour, that's what I think. Put the numbers in. Based on the sister sale, 75% return on investment. Based on a flip, basically just break even. So flips are just don't work with And then we spoke to, and then I worked on this with Sam. So Sam Warburton, shout out to him. Lovely guy. He's a bit more like, he's made a bit more progress than me, to be fair, in deal sourcing. He hasn't sourced a deal yet, but he's actually, like, since being in the dealers club or anything, but he has, he had a friend who then invested with him, so he's kind of done it. He says he hasn't done it, but he has done it. I feel like he says he hasn't done it because it was with a friend who then, you know, invested in a project in Manchester or something. Can't remember, something like that. I think he's being humble when he says he hasn't done it. He's done it, right? And I feel very, very lucky that he's happy to work with me on this one. Great. So, by the way, Property Engine is a bit weird when it says follow up any moment now, follow up 3 days ago. Sometimes you get 2 follow ups in one property. Right, so yeah, we're done with the last week's stuff. I'm going to set an hour's timer for this week's stuff. And yeah, the first thing we're going to do is, yeah, kind of ignore that deal. That's in the pipeline. We're going to keep working on it, especially tomorrow. Try and get our offer subject to being accepted and go from there. Haven't put an offer in on a property in a while. You know, been working on things. I've updated I've updated my scripts using ChatGPT, how to communicate with agents better, all this good stuff. Let's set the hours timer. So I've done a lot of things in the background, and hopefully it's coming to fruition now, thanks to working with Sam as well. 2 hours timer gone. Another thing that, you know, he's got like 200 investors on his list, something like that, and I've got like 2, so something I also need to work on. We had a call with one of his investors though, who would pay 420 for that property, the 4-bed in London. So some people have wild expectations. Obviously, very wealthy person, and respect to that person. I don't know how he would do it. I don't know how he would get the price that low. It's not my style. It is simply not my style. I want creative solutions that work for the vendor, the investor, and the agent. So, speaking of which, my purchase lease option analyzer. I'm a bit worried to share this in case it's actually really good. But I shared it on Facebook, and you had to have a password to get in. So yeah, if you want this sheet, message me, and I can send it to you. But there's a password to if you want to make changes or anything. And if it's actually freaking good, I might sell it, because not many people seem to understand this strategy. So, and I don't want to spend loads of time explaining it today. I just want to get on with analysing how we're doing with people. Are people on board with me today? Not so much. So maybe I shouldn't worry too much. But this obviously does go out as a video afterwards. Look, yeah. So I have some numbers in here. Some numbers that don't work. Lots of reds there. Essentially, yeah, like I explained with a car, you lease a car, and then you either give it back, or you purchase it. In the case of property, giving back a property, what would that look like? You might sell the option onto another investor, which is so cool. Like, I don't know, I wouldn't know how to do that, but that's so cool. There's another thing that Mark Shaw, the mentor I'm going to go in March. He knows loads about these. So you can pass it on to other investors, whatever. Or get a third-party buyer to buy it. Or, you know, we're talking about assisted sales in this channel. A lease option is a long-term version of that, but a freaking loads more complicated analyzer. And I think this works. Instead of showing you it now, let's find some properties. Well, properties that I've already found, to be fair, and plug some numbers in. And I've already kind of got the rough idea, so we can just plug some numbers in, and you know, if you're smart, you can probably work out how to make my analyzer. And if you're not, and if it's good, then you can buy it. Maybe in the future I'll sell this type of thing. I don't know. Right. So this one. I spoke to the agent the week before last, so I really do need to follow up with this one. What is it telling me? It's telling me follow up 9 days ago exactly. So really do need to follow up on this one. So it's had reductions. It's been sold 6% below what it was in 2016. So it's saying might be open to lease option agreement, and that is what we're looking at now. We've got the analyzer for it. Vendor situation. And it says the vendor is selling with tenant in situ and chain free. So they're looking for someone to. He's looking to get rid of the asset, but he hasn't kicked out the tenant. He's probably desperate for a lease option, to be fair. Maybe that's what he wants, because not many buyers are gonna want to buy with a tenant in situ. Certainly not a family buyer. So he wants to sell it to an investor. How many investors are looking for vanilla buy-to-lets at 925k in London these days? Doesn't make sense. So this almost has to be a lease option. So this could be fantastic. Here we go. Here we go. Right, so this property is W39HG. This has to work. But the numbers might not work. Because I don't know, but I put in, I tried for a £2.5 million property that an agent sent to me. And yeah, you can see all the reds. Didn't bloody work, basically. The yellow bits are what you change. So option fee, I'm going to assume I can get it for £1 option fee. If this landlord is desperate to just get rid of it, then maybe he'll agree to that. Where an option fee might become more useful is to try and get people to people who are not investors or landlords or whatever to cooperate more quickly, pay them a few grand. Probate, better for an assisted sale to be honest, but you want to pay them up front. Family needs granny's money, basically, and what else? Situations where you want to pay up front. Can't think of any up to now. Oh yeah, when the chain is about to break, when somebody is selling in order to buy somewhere else, then they obviously need that money straight up front. They can't wait 5 years for lease option to complete. They need that money up front. But yeah, with this 2 million, whatever, it didn't work. So this one's 925,000. But the estimated current market value certainly isn't that. Did we do comparables on this property yet? No, we didn't. So that's what we're going to do, comparables on the property. What is the current market value? Now, whereas for flipping and stuff, we're looking at fully refurbished stuff as comparables. Let's just remind ourselves of how this one is. It's not terrible, right? It's slightly tired. 20 years maybe dated decor, but maybe that bathroom's only 10 years old. Not too bad, right? Yeah, I mean 10, 20 years old, that kind of thing. Alright, so we're looking for a kind of, if you're rich enough, you'd and you wanted to live there, you'd improve things, but not in desperate need of work or anything. 145 square meters, alright. Well, first thing we always do here is oh yeah, there was a thing, and that's what I want Jamie at Property Engine Property Engine to show me. It says the thing to set your default comparable thing to last 12 months and within half a mile, instead of having to do this adjust it every time. So yeah, I'd love Jamie at Property Engine to show me that. That's got an exclamation mark suggesting that isn't really a fair valuation. If there are no comparables, then this is something that I'm just going to have to guesstimate for now and ask around agents, I suppose, which is difficult. This one is very nice. 1.49 million. Wow, bidding war for that one. So, is that comparable? Not really, it's bloody gorgeous. It's just too gorgeous. Too gorgeous. Okay, this one's a bit closer, and that has actually got 90,000. So, if the market value is not... Wait, where is it telling me? It's 700,000 there. That's it. Just when we see. Sony sold subject to contract. That may be the issue. Yeah, I don't know why on the summary bit it was saying 900. I mean, 820 is bad. Like if buying it, it's agreeing at 925. Now, lease options can work above market value in areas with high capital appreciation, but London's not one of them. So I know I'm looking into lease options because I just love them. I just think it's such a cool idea, and it's this out. I just think it's so cool. It's just really deep genius, and you solve the problem for everyone. But it might lead me away from London in the future. Oh my god, stop prophesying. Get on with the job in the here and now. But it might do, because it might do. Or it might not, because with all these companies and BlackRock and things like that buying up UK property, we're soon to see that price increase, I'm sure. Right, I'll use this comparable. It's a bit smaller, but I use this as comparable. 870. So yeah, I feel like this property is still overpriced. But if this is a really motivated landlord, he's at 925, can possibly secure it for less anyway. Gosh, there's not a lot of similar properties here. I mean, this one's a bit too big, I would say. Yeah, and it's really quite nice. So there's no way we're getting that for our current market value. Sold properties. I can include the under offer thing because we're a bit desperate here. That one's 161. It's a bit, perhaps a bit too big and a bit too modern. But I'll include it as a sort of, yeah, maybe. But it's too modern really because ours is not done up. But I can maybe take a bit off it. Let's go under offer. I got last 3 months. We can do last. And yeah, see what's going on. Remember, you're not looking for refurbish. These are all too nice, really. This might show us something. I mean, that's really quite too dated as a comparable, I'd say. Hey, $1 million cut back to 1925, same sort of price range as ours, and in fact exactly the same sort of era of. Well, that is a perfect comparable, and it is the same price. So yeah, and actually it didn't sell. When was it removed? July this year. Yeah, well, there we go. So I think having that as a comparable and saying to the agent, well, look, this one at 925, nobody wanted that. It's the same bloody type of property. Slightly bigger, actually. Why do you think this is worth 925? I think 850 might. 875. It's a creative deal, though, so they might want a higher price off the back of the fact it's creative. This one, I mean, we're getting close to the half-mile mark, though. It's quite a lot nicer, isn't it? For 1,250, I don't think that's a fair comparison, really. Very far away. Very far away. This one is the same sort of size, but very modern, very nice. Just nicer, isn't it? Whoa, lovely. So, yeah. And this one's a bit shittier, but outside, but inside it's nice. Maybe that cancels itself out, so we can have a sort of comparable there. So in summary, we just go like this, and we have a look. What do we have? Oh, so these two, the under offer ones, and if I go back to sold properties, we'll have 2 more. Right, so we have 95. Let's open up a calculator. Suppose I do it here because I just want you guys to see it with me. Oh. Technology is not my bag. Right, can you open the calculator in a new tab? So I think, and the computer just doesn't listen to me. Doesn't listen to what I'm thinking. I'm thinking I'm telling it to do. It just doesn't listen. It only acts on the actual input I'm putting in. It doesn't listen to my feelings. 925 plus 995 plus. Can you feel my passion? $870. A bit too small, that one, but hey, it's in there. That's $870 plus. Again, probably a ceiling, or maybe slightly going through the roof. Valuation 1174. Yeah. Okay, and we divide it by 4. And where is our market value at? 991. I think it's skewed too much by that expensive one, isn't it? Let's do the calculation again without the expensive one. 870 plus, because the market's kind of doing that in London. I've got to bear in mind 925 plus 995. Yeah, and then divide by 3. I'm going with that. I think I'm going with that. I just don't. And it's bigger as well, and it's more modern, and this one just, yeah, I was doing that because I kind of forgot about the whole, well, let's do the under offer stuff as well, and factor that in. Yeah, alright, so what did we say then? 930. So comps at 930k. Alright. Wait. Save. Okay. So let's put that into our PLO analyzer. 930. And what does this mean? Well, it means in the deal when you agree that in the future you'll pay 925. Well, who knows about capital appreciation? What will go on? But from day one, if you're getting it at £5 below market value, then your equity from day one is £5. Okay, that's the first bit of the. Ignore the rest of the analyzer for now, but that first bit is relevant. Option period, I'll keep it 5 years. It's a standard thing. Yeah, I don't know. I've never done one of these before, but I've heard that's sort of about average for it. The next thing we need to work out. What is the next thing we need to work out? The option cost per month. I mean, that's something that we'll decide. Okay, but in order to reach that, we need to look at. So this property is currently being let out, and I should probably ask the agent for how much. Definitely. But surely there's a way of figuring that out. So now I'm going to try and use my brain to try and figure out what this is being let out for. Because it's tenant in situ. If this wasn't tenant in situ, then I'd just look at market rent only. Because it's like just blank slate, let's start again. But this is being let out at the moment. Should keep them on the same contract. Maybe negotiate a rent increase, which would only be allowed to do once a year now, isn't it? But maybe negotiate a rent increase because, like, there are a few bits I'd probably want to improve in this property. It's not dreadful at all, but you probably want new carpets at least, and then you can just justify a rent increase based on things like that, can't you? Added a bit of value. That's alright, that's alright for now. But yeah, you could refresh the carpets for them. The beds. This is a little bit grossy. You could just give them a new shower screen, just a few bits and bobs, and then the rent is £50 a month more, £100 a month more, whatever, maybe. But let's assume that we're not going to do that. So all we're going to do is so you can look at for rents on here, but can you look at let agreed? So no, I'm not sure you can. I can write it down as a question to ask, but I'm not sure you can. It's not even let agreed, is it? It's you know being let currently at a price. How are we going to find that out? Well, we've got the postcode. Maybe we can look at something like that's a tab I need for another time. Refurb checklist, all this stuff. Don't really need this. So land registry. Is it supposed to look like that? Why is it 1K then? Okay, here we go. I'm not paying something quick, by the way. For the title document, no, I don't think so. I don't think I need that. But anyway, we're looking for 27. I don't know. We just want to know how much is allowed for at the moment. I don't want to spend too much on this though. Might be easy to look at the market rent actually, to be fair. Instead of doing all this bullshit. Oh, those lot look boring. Okay. Can just I'll have a look at this. Um, I'll have a look. I don't think it's going to tell me anything though about an AST contract, is it? I'm not. Oh, I can't be. This is too long. Forget it. Market rent. Okay. I can't really think of how to get the what is currently being rented out as. I'll just ask the agent. For now, let's look at this sort of market rent for this. So for rent, or I might even do a bit of an old Classico with Rightmove. Oh my god, it's on this property that I looked at in bloody August or July. Property to rent, and then put in the postcode to rent, and then like half a mile, and houses. I think it's a 4 bed. Is it a 4 bed or a 3? 4. And we'll just have a look. Let agreed. That's what I want to.
I forgot the coffee cup of the court.
Oh no.
The pink one.
The pink one. My one. Which court?
Cool.
No, I don't mean. I don't. That's it. I don't mean what number it was.
Burgess, I think that's been stolen probably now. I mean, contact whoever the relevant person who's coaching in the morning tomorrow. There, just contact, find out, and see if there are any. Have a look if there are any bookings today after you. Like it will be on the system, and sometimes it says the name of the person. Who knows? You could literally like see who was playing on that tennis court afterwards.
It's not joking.
It says like no, even the members of the public. It says like Michael Davies, and then you look them up on freaking Facebook or Instagram. You find the person. They've got tennis racket in their profile picture.
Anyway, where were we? Okay, nothing within half a mile. Okay. No properties for rent? That's weird. It's a semi, yeah, it's a semi, yeah, semi. I have no properties for rent. What? Okay. Okay, let's just use W3 then. Oh, this is useless, isn't it? Okay, this looks somewhat similar. This one here. Over 2,950. Also square footage 145. Let's have a look. Do you know what? If it's not even showing me sold, subject to contract, whatever, I may as well just go back to property engine. That was the issue. The property engine wasn't showing me sold STC, so I thought, well, let's give this a go. This is actually just on the market. Reduce the other month. What other info? I just want square footage, size, ask agent. Oh, ask agent the size. Come off it. I mean, I could probably work it out from here. What's 11 times 15? Is that how it works? Well, that's foot. I'm doing it in foot. Oh, sorry, it's 3.5 times. 3 times 15. 15. Bloody. Roughly 15, roughly 12, roughly 10. This is annoying, isn't it? So what we got downstairs, 12 plus again, this is too long. I mean, I'd say what we got downstairs, 40. It might be a little bit smaller. No. Okay, I just want to get off Raymond. But okay, we can bear that one in mind. It's 2,950, perhaps. That's obviously going to be way out here. This one might be worth a look. Not nice, but you know, it's the same sort of footprint. Size ask agent again. Okay, it's actually smaller, but it's modernised. So let's say, okay, so great. So that's 3.5. It's not been agreed at 3.5, but let's say, so that's 3,449. I'll write it down. 3,449 for the market rent. Look at some more. Interesting. Been in touch with that Robson, Smith and Kenson recently. This one, wow, going for a lot more. Bowes Road. Oh, very interesting. There's a property for sale on Bowes Road that I'm looking at. That's my sister's sale. But I mean, this might be quite far away as well. But I mean, why on earth is that demanding so much more rent? Is it huge? It's not huge. Different area perhaps. So put it down at 3,950, but it's not being let at that. Do we have a lot more to go through? We don't. That's it. Right, I'll have a look at property engine then. Look at the market rent. Four bed. We need an area. Gives me, that's the wrong area. That area. Widen it a little bit. What are properties renting for? There's nothing for rent. So weird, isn't it? Well, like, if there's nothing for rent, then maybe there's not the demand, and I have to go on the low side for this, and maybe a lease option won't work. Or maybe it needs a lease option with an SA route. You can let it out however you like during the option period. Perhaps, oh my giddy aunt. Yeah, perhaps like an AST is not the way to go. So yeah, wow, nothing. Oh, hang on, this is flats apartments. Let's take that off. We want houses. Again, nothing. A semi-detached house for rent. Okay. Okay. Right. Well, let's go for mile. I don't like to do this, but nothing. Nothing for rent. Seriously. It's not great, is it? Look at this one. Living far away, living too big. Yeah, seemed like Rightmove had more of an answer there, but it just went W3, didn't it? Alright, so we've got some sort of ideas between 3,449, 3,950. I'm gonna put 3.5 in because, like I said, if the mental demand's not there, then you gotta lowball it. Our property is a lot bigger than those, but I'm gonna put 3.5 in, and gross rental income 3,500. Okay, cool. What's the next bit to do? Well, we've got to look at refurbishment, to be honest. This property, long term, it does need it, but does it need it all at the start? No, like at the start, this could start working as a lease option, just from like new carpets and the shower screens, stuff like that. So I'm literally just going to put in like £2,000 for those minor works. Maybe £3,000. It's always good to like overestimate. So I'm gonna. I didn't think it would be £3,000 with shower screen, carpets, surely. But anyway, I'll put it in. Okay. Option free period to get those works done. Well, I would say one. This is how many months? How many months? Does this? I just want to check my analyzer works as well. So those numbers. Oh my god, I've done it again. This is getting seriously jittery with my live stream. Alright, so those numbers, let's just make sure if I change it to 0, numbers change. But they actually don't. They kind of should. Okay, I guess I forgot about that bit. Option free period. Ugh. It means the calculations that use this need to take off 1 month. But alright, for the simplicity of today, I'll write that down. Because sometimes you can negotiate an option free period. Sometimes it's necessary to cover a rent free period if you're doing works that are going to take a month or two. You can't have a tenant in. fix in the analyzer. Well, I mean, the thing is, for this case, maybe not such a big deal because you need the tenant to just stay there. Might do a few little refurbishments, but you can probably, I don't know, maybe you can fit some new carpets around the tenant being there and the shower screen. I think that's fine. Staging, I mean, they're already happy. Might do a couple new beds. I'll put £2,000. The beds just look atrocious, but if they're happy, they're happy. Right, agency fees a percentage, don't change it. Legal fees, that's fine. Void period, we said I've actually forgot to program that into affect anything, so let's just leave it. 3.5k rental income. Right, so look. Landlord's looking to get rid of the asset for a price. Okay, but if it's a price in the future, then he'll need some money up front, or he'll just be happy with receiving slightly less rent, but it will be pure income for him, not with all the maintenance hassle and whatever. So let's say he was receiving 3,500 minus all of these sort of costs. Yeah, so because he has to deal with this as well currently. He has to deal with 12% management. He has to deal with voids, whatever. He incurs £995 worth of costs, therefore, each month. So he's actually receiving 2.5, according to these calculations, of a maintenance 10% void, or budget to be set aside. He really should only be using £2,500 of his profits anyway. So what if we said to him, look, take everything, all the hassle off you, and I'll get you £3 way too much. I'll get you £2,000 worth of pure profit. That's our option fee. And then are we making money? We are making a £500 profit. We are profiting from an agreement that will give us a house in the future. So I think that's cool. That's why I like it. So yeah, I think it's fair. If he was getting 2.5, he's getting 2, but literally fully passive. Excuse me. I think that's fair. Right. Okay. Hope people are following along. If they're not, no worries at all. I mean, I'll keep working on these, so we'll keep seeing them. So it means there's various calculations in total operating cost a year, total cash invested, because there's an agency fee and a sourcing fee, and there's a little refurbishment legal fees, and then you need an emergency fund as well, and all of that, and then that's cash invested. This is after 5 years. Again, I think the number will be slightly lower if we say we have an option-free period of a month. We basically just need to take off £2,000 from that, so whatever, negligible. Cash returned 2%. So although we're making money each month, we've not fully recouped back. This is not a great sign. We've not fully recouped back what we're going to put in by the end of 5 years here. Because we're only making 30 grand a year back, so therefore, what's that, 200 whatever after 5 years, and we've invested this much. Oh, hang on, that needs to be changed, because that needs to be the rent times 3. Your emergency fund equals CAT times 3. So we're getting a little bit of money off here, trying to make things slightly better, but still, you after 5 years you've not recouped all of your investment back. let alone made. I'd want this to be 20%, so it's not looking great here. Obviously, if you're able to agree this lease option for 7 years, but does the landlord really want to do that? 7 years, you're breaking even. See if it's 10 years. I'll come to the right side later. It's 10 years, alright, happy days to an extent, but still 4%. Yeah. So, doesn't look to work. But what we did say was that, mind you, this doesn't negate the cash flow thing, because there's two things going on here. There's cash flow, and then there's equity and the long-term game of capital appreciation, which is more important on the lease option. But I do ideally want to present a deal to investor which does have to have a 20% return before you then make your massive return at the end, which is hopefully where we get to here. But I said there's an identical property that didn't sell for 925 either. This is a tired landlord. Maybe they'd be happy with 850. I know it's BNB, but maybe they'd be happy with 850. Also, how long has this been on for at this point? This has been on since April. For goodness sake, they need to get it shifted, right? For goodness sake. Alright. 850, does that change? Does it change the numbers? It changed the numbers slightly here in our favour. Can't remember how it did that. It was 925. It's just simply because the sourcing and agency fee will be less. That's fair. It's a bit counterintuitive for me. I try and negotiate a price down because I base my sourcing fee off like 2% of the price. So I try and get my fee low. Well, I've put my sourcing fee at 1% here. Probably shouldn't do that. Yeah, the lower I get the price for the investor, the less they pay me. Don't know if I should really do it like that. Anyway, I'm not sure about this one because of the reds. Even if we got it for 850 there, and this is assuming we get a £1 option fee. If they say, well, I want 10 grand up front, yeah. So it's probably not a good one, but for the purposes of running through this analyzer, let's have a look. So we got it for 850, market value is 950. Now, the market value after the option period, I've based it on the capital appreciation rate. That's for detached London. Yeah, I should probably check semi, but let's leave it there for now. I'll tell you what, let's just quickly update it. House price stats. Semi-detached. We're looking London. I'll just do London because I should have done that. Semi-detached, and I'm going to go for the last 10 years. To give a sort of idea of what it's doing, likely to do in the next 5 years. Okay, so it's going from 5, 4, 3, 2, and you can see how it's falling these days. Like, in cash falling. Against inflation, that's a big drop. And that's since 2023, to be fair. We had this sort of rise after the pandemic. It's just bloody terrible. It's flatlined. Against inflation, that's, yeah. Anyway, 710 to 5. So I'm saying London might not be the best place for this strategy, but 543 to 710. Go into the calculator. I think I do something like this. I might be wrong here. 710. No, it might be the other way around. 710 divided by 543. I think it's that. Yeah. So that's over 10 years. It's 30%. And then I'm going to do answer minus 1. Yeah, so 10 years is 30%. But I need to divide it by 2 because I want. Or do I divide it by 10? Hang on a minute. Was that per year I've done it? C4 times H3 times C3. Oh yeah, depends on the option period. So I actually want to put input. You want to input 1 year here, what it's going to appreciate in 1 year, times by your option period, because it's not always 5. Alright, so therefore I'm going up here, and I'm going to divide this answer by 10. So you can see it's 3.07%. But in here we write 1.0307. 307. Okay, so I shouldn't really change the template too much, should I? But still working on it. I should turn this auto save thing off. Alright, so this is actually now semi in London. Semi-London. It's appreciating slightly more with semis, but yeah, not a great deal much, just 3% a year. If you think of inflation in that time, yeah, losing out to inflation actually. Wow, I'm really selling London property, losing out to inflation. Alright, anyway, it's going up 3%.
Joseph is there. He checked his car.
Oh no, it was stolen. Ah.
What should I do?
I'll order another one. I leave stuff behind as well. It happens. I guess you're tired. Maybe you're just too excited to finish.
It's at the corner. I was like holding it while watching, and I'm going around. I just put it down, do demonstration, and I forgot.
Yeah.
So where was I? The deposit. Let's ignore how I've worked that out and everything like that. Anyway, so that's telling me conveyancing. I don't really know, but I'll put in a figure. It's telling me at the end of the option period, if you want to enact it, you need that much cash. Mortgage payment. I don't actually know. So I asked ChatGPT last time, so let's do that this time. How much was a typical mortgage be on a? What's the price going to be in 5 years? We're saying it's going to be 988,750. So I'll put 990,000 pound property in London. Let's see what it thinks. Yeah, of course, assumptions. 25 years, fine. $10 deposit. I think we were doing 25%, weren't we? Because it's a buy-to-let one. So we look at 25%. So our mortgage is 4,150 per month. Right, and this is an issue because we've got 4,150 a month. Well, our option cost was 2,000. So then when you buy the property, suddenly you're doubling your costs. Our return on investment is bad. Our monthly cash flow is minus 650. So C18 minus the mortgage. Oh, in fact though, it'll be more than that because you still have to deal with the maintenance and everything. So I think it'll be worse than that. It's really, it should be this minus the operating profit. This plus this, because plus this because you're not having to pay that anymore, minus this. So hang on, it should be C30 plus C6 minus H11. And then yeah, that's even worse, isn't it? So cash flow at the end of it's not great. You're making a loss, I guess. By buying the property, you're making a loss. Yeah, it's not a good sign, is it? How can that be? Because you gained equity. Remember, we started with 80k. Now we're all the way up to 138k of equity. But cash is more important. Oh, actually, the way I've done it here, net earnings. I think the way I've worked this one out, this return, H16 divided by, is not fair really, because when are you gonna have earned enough? Oh, okay, I guess whoever that is can wait if they've stopped. But at that point, you're never going to have earned enough to pay for the whole house based on rental income, I don't think. So I might need to change how that's calculated. Or sort of, yeah, sort of ignore that for now or whatever. Look into that. Fix. Because it'd be insane if you earned enough money in 5 years to then pay for the whole property, right? Yeah. So that's always going to be negative in the way I've done it at the moment, so I'll fix that next week. But this is the bit that would be great to go green and it's not doing, and you know, yeah. This is based on, no, you might be thinking, I thought we were doing, oh hang on, this has to change, hang on. This doesn't calculate automatically, it's stamp duty. Just need to calculate stamp duty, because that was off freaking £1 million house. I don't think I have to type this in actually, I think that's on my bookmarks, but never mind. So now obviously on a £988,000 house, we've got different things going on. Still a lot though, 91,950. But I'll plug that into the analyzer. 1,950. Yeah, it's not too bad now. But still the cash flow is bad, so still you will. Oh no, I factor the equity in as well. So no, this ROI thing, I don't think it's broken. Because if, for example, if the equity uplift plus what you make here in the 5 years from the rent is then profitable, then that's the whole point of doing a lease option. But at the moment it's still negative 17 and we're not cash flowing at all. This mortgage, well, I mean, yeah, you know, if you could. This is almost like how much money's left in the deal if it's the equivalent to BRR. Why would you want to leave 108 grand in the deal? Oh, it's not good. So, or what is it? No, this is, okay. So this is like on a BRR leaving 73, yeah, this is the way it's explained, like leaving £73,000 in the deal. I mean, is it bad? Is it bad? Not too bad. You're buying in you've got a house now that's worth £1 million, and essentially you have paid 73,000 for it. So perhaps if this was green and you were still getting cash flow, this one would work. All right, I think perhaps. But it's by far is it not, because we're thinking the mortgage is about that, and the rent is 3.5, and yeah, that's the cash flow on it. It's just the rent would have to go up. That's so much. I mean, absolutely no way on that one. And so I've gone through that one slowly. Let's go through one more a bit quicker. Oh, hello. I hope it all makes sense. Oh no, don't do this. I don't know why it does this. Engine's great until it breaks. Yeah, why does it do this? Oh no. Oh, here we go. Right, fixed. Right, this is another one that I've labelled that could be a lease option, I believe. It's a few others. Not that one. Okay, this one. This is cool because I don't need to work out this rental figures again, because I've looked at this before and I was thinking, I've looked at it for rent to SA, I believe. 268 a night. Yeah. So, right, let's go at this one. Let's save this as the last postcode, which was no, this one. which is W3 9HG. Let's do one more. PLO. Yeah, now we're going to do that's this one. But then if we go back here, we should still have this one. We can great. We can close this one down. Unfortunately, it does have the legacy of the last one. Right. So the new property we're looking at now is 785. So 785, and I'm looking instead of an AST at at an Airbnb type thing, which might mean I need to override some of this stuff. No, actually, some of this operating cost stuff because. Yeah. Right. Somewhere I worked this out. Yeah. Think it was here? Yeah. And I said, and let's assume 70%. The whole year, I guess. And it's not great, is it, if you're losing money at 50. Oh, there we go. This will be the last one. But let's just assume 70% all year, right? So it's 916 per month. Okay. So there's all these bits and bobs. And, I'll probably make a new lease option analyzer that integrates an essay into it better. But for now, we just need to make this, say, 916 a month. So we're just going to fudge it. And what's the difference between, and I won't do this on the screen for you guys, just do this roughly. I'm just fudging it, right? So previously, because I've looked at this one, I've worked out what it would makes an essay, and I said at 70% it's 916 months. So the difference between 916 and 505 is 411. So I'm just going to add 411 to this, but please just understand that is a complete fudge. I wait, but then it's not that simple because because the maintenance and everything goes up accordingly. Okay, I just need to. I've got 8 and 5. Okay, I just need to somehow make this say. Oh god, it's gonna be a lot of trial and error. Not need to make this say 916. No, that's too high. Right. Yeah. 916, and we're close. I'm 17. You little bastard. I want to get this exactly. Come on. 915.99. So that is 916 at a discount retailer. That'll do. Right. So just ignore these numbers. But yeah, I still think it's appropriate to have an emergency fund. And this sort of thing will be the same. Or will it? Will legal fees perhaps be a little bit different if it's, let's say, I don't know. If anyone's watching, you can tell me. You might know. About time. Is stamp duty correct? About time, yeah, that was a bit, yeah. If it has tenants, do nothing. What's emergency fund? It's but let me be brutally honest. It's what ChatGPT told me to have an emergency fund on a lease on actually not just lease option, on an AST contract. You should plan, the investor should plan to have an emergency fund of, now look, if they say, well, yeah, I've got money in the bank, I don't need to budget for emergency fund, Elliot, no worries at all. then we just go like this, and then whoa. But if not, then if they'd like to factor in what they need for emergency maintenance, then I'm being quite stingy actually. It said 3 to 6 months rent is a good emergency fund. I said 6 months, so I put it for 3 months. But yeah, it's just kind of being conservative, and the investor's like, you don't need to factor that into the calculation, and I'll just take it out. But I want to know, if you're still there, Paul, or maybe it's not. Maybe not. I don't know. But if you're still there, are legal fees on a rent to estate different? But yeah. Also, this is assuming it's self-managed by the investor, but the investor might actually. The investor might pay a company to just manage the SA and then take any difference. There's lots of things. Also here, I might actually change this because I said monthly rent to landlord would be this. Okay. Which, if we transfer that to a lease option, is the option fee. And I say, alright, rental comparables for 3,200, whatever. So, I think as a lease option, would they be happy with less? Like they've got the property off their hands and they've got the price they want in the future. Would they be happy with less? Perhaps. Well, we could play around with it later. We could literally stick it at $2,000 and then suddenly we're up here, and we could play around with it later. Okay, for now we'll keep it 2,700. I think that's quite generous, to be fair. Okay. Yeah, we're ignoring that because it's all a bit skew at the moment. Alright, current market value. Now, this property that we're looking at here is refurbished. Okay, ignore some of the dodgy photos, whatever. Apparently the agent says this mess has all been cleared up now here, and yeah, that's lovely, isn't it? I don't like the grey personally, but it is a lovely refurbished property, and I also don't like the finish down there. I think it's a little bit lazy. I think, where is the doorstep? A few little things, but overall, yeah, fine. And I think the market value is at 785. Might even be less, right? This might be on for a bit too much, but let's just assume it's 785. Okay, cool. Can use comparables, but there's not too much time at this. Well, okay, could have a look. I don't believe there really are any refurbished. Hang on, have I already asked the question? Oh, I think I've already done this. Let's have a look. I think I've already saved some comparables on this one. Looks like. They refurbish comparables? Oh no, they're not. I don't know why did I save? Are there no refurbished properties in the area? Is that why it's struggling to sell? Yeah, okay. We'll stick with 785 for now. Let me just go through the analyzer. Refurbishment doesn't need anything. Great. Staging. Well, it might do. Let's have a look. Was it a little bit sparse? Oh no, there's a few bits. There's like a bed and to stage a bit. I'll say nothing because, tell you what, I mean, we took this place unfurnished. That's totally normal. Can happen. So great. Okay, looking good. Looking good. 9% return on investment, and that's without buying the property. So that is earning 9% before you bought the house. So it's not. It would be great to be 20%, but we're not quite there. But if we can agree, this might be a better idea than the last one then. Oh yeah, I've totally fudged the numbers. Might be slightly off, but move over to this side again. Capital appreciation rate. Oh, it's a semi, so that's correct. Conveyancing. No, that's fine. Right, monthly mortgage payment. This is going to be wrong. So I'm just going to go back to ChatGPT, and I'm going to put in. I'm just going to the same fee, isn't it? Oh wait, we just look again at what would the market value be in 5 years time. Would be really 913. 3% a year? Okay, let's say it is. Sorry. 913,000 property. So, come on, you. I want you to tell me the 25%. But yeah, this is where it could get difficult because I'll then need to go into the essay analyzer and put in this, and then it's going to stop making money again. So I think I need to look into how people buy at the end of lease options, because I mean I've only analysed 3, right? But the 3 I've analysed, it's very hard to get cash flow at the end because maybe this is just the difficulty with buy to lets anyway. But yeah, if I go in and put 3,830 into the essay, then yeah, we're making a loss at 70% of 213, and now I need to somehow translate that into here, and I don't know how to do it because I've fudged it around. Because that's telling me I'm getting cash flow, but actually no, I'm not. So, right, I'll just fudge the number until no. I'll fudge the number until we get a loss of 200. What was it? A loss of 213. So the numbers are going to be essentially right. How we've got there is not going to be, but that's fine. 200. I want to get it right. 230 Okay. There we go. So yeah, we do need to change the stamp duty as well though, because we're only buying a £913,000 property. And yeah, this is how I'm analysing lease option 81,300. Put it in there. And then you've got 35 grand left in the deal. So yeah, essentially you've paid 35 grand only at the end of your option period to own a property, but one that is not cash flowing you. So this one doesn't work either. It's a bit of a lengthy process to analyse these, isn't it? But the more I do, the quicker I'll get, I suppose. Right, I'm going to save this one again. I do need to obviously adapt it so that I don't have to use two analysers and sort of get those two analysers in one. But benefit of this is that I've been going, oh, this one might work as a lease option, might work as a, and I actually have no idea if it does. And I'm going to be able to use this to actually answer the question. And like I said, the whole point of analysing is not waste your time on deals that aren't going to work, not ring agents on deals that are not going to work. I might have just kind of burnt some bridges with 3 agents there. That I say, oh yeah, this is what I do, this is how a lease option works, and then actually I've analysed it and they don't. Right, doesn't mean lease options don't work, but yeah, these figures don't at the moment. So yeah, 9, 8 and Z. But yeah, I mean, probably I'll keep focusing on sister sales mainly because they are a lot more simple. And also because this doesn't, what I'm working out here, that they're not making money, doesn't ring true with what I've heard from Mark Shaw. Obviously he has a course to sell, but what I heard from him is with lease options you don't know how much, but you're gonna make money. Well, these ones aren't. Paying 35 grand to get a 200, well, that's net earnings, and I've included equity. You're actually paying 400 over the 5 years, 407 grand. What you're getting back out of it is 243 in cash, 128 in equity. Yeah, I think I understand it, right? What am I getting wrong such that Mark was saying you always make money and these ones don't? Anyway, probably he's oversimplified it. Right, so I'm going to go back to, this is the end of the stream. This is the end of the stream, and Paul's last comment is about time. Well, there we are. So for next week, it was analyse NW10 from last week. Keep on top of the email searches from last week. Yeah, didn't get around to those today. Option free period on the analyzer. Yeah, need to sync that up, and yeah, just look into these lease options. Like, how do people buy them at the end? Maybe this, because I put it in as like a 20%, 5% buy-to-let mortgage. That you transfer yourself onto, and it's always well, from the last 3 anyway, making us a loss at the end. That's not great. So hopefully I'll have the answers to those questions, and I'll have done that work by next week. And thank you very much for watching this week, my 10th live stream. Well, hey.